Mexico, and moved into China. And we're going to do our best to avoid paying any taxes in this country. There has got to be a change in the culture of corporate America. They're going to have to pay attention to the needs of the people in this country. That's story number one. Verizon, General Electric. But let me give you another story. Just yesterday, it was reported that Goldman Sachs one of the major financial institutions in this country, reached an agreement with the federal government to pay a settlement of $5 billion. Now, they reached that settlement because they were selling worthless packages of subprime mortgage loans. They lied about those in those packages. And what they did, and what other financial institutions also did, they were not alone, was to create a situation 8 or so years ago, which resulted in the collapse of Wall Street, which sent this country into the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. And all of you know what the results of that were. Millions of Americans lost their jobs, they lost their homes, and in some cases they lost their life savings because of the greed and recklessness and illegal behavior on Wall Street. So what you have now, you have a corporate culture which says we don't have to worry about the people who built our companies. We don't have to worry about the consumers that created the wealth for our companies. We don't have to worry about anything except our bottom line. If we can make $5 more, like shutting down in Rochester or Buffalo or any place else and move to China, that's all we have to worry about. And I say to that corporate culture, those days are over. Make even more money. Those days are over. Let me take a moment to talk about some of the very significant differences that exist between Secretary Clinton and myself. Those differences are profound. You can tell a great deal about what candidates will do based on how they raise their campaign funds. Sad, but truthfully, it now takes an enormous amount of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, to run for president of the United States. And we have to make a decision early on in our campaign as to whether or not we would do what every other campaign has done, and that is establish a super PAC. Now, after about 1/10 of 1 second of what we agree we do not represent corporate America. We do not represent Wall Street. We do not want their money. We And we say, if you want a candidate who is going to stand with you and take on big money and trust, help us out. And then what happened was literally unbelievable. In the last 11 months, we have received over 6 million individual campaigns.